Hello, 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 hello. Who is here? Wow, I've been doing so much live stuff lately that I'm like, wow, here I am again live. And you know what's crazy? Some of you were live with me that whole time. Last night's live cooking class, anti-inflammatory foods, which is so critical for bone health. If you didn't get a chance to see that, I actually have a community called Stronger Bones Lifestyle. And in my community, Stronger Bones Lifestyle, is where I keep all of my cooking classes. It's probably the most requested, most discussed topic that I've had over the years is food, what to eat, what not to eat. So my community, Stronger Bones Lifestyle, let me see if I could put a link in here for you. I'll put a link in here because that's where I'm showing up. That's where you can get the most answers on your journey. So if you are not in there yet, join me. And I don't know why, for some reason, I'm not able to get that dang thing in there. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get this off and do it. Yes. All right. Strong Bones Lifestyle Community, join us. Really low cost monthly fee, and you get a lot. I just came out of a live webinar that I did with someone on clean beauty and clean daily routines, so clean deodorant and toothpaste. You're just raising our awareness to how we're exposing ourselves every day, all day to toxins, because toxins are going to contribute to bone loss and loss of hormones. So there's so much more. I'm glad you're here for yoga therapy for bone health. And this is really one of the most important things we'll do for healthy aging is to work on developing our physical body. So developing the muscles in our body, developing the strength, the flexibility, the range of motion in our body. Huge, critical, top thing. You're here to do that. So that's great today. And we're going to do that. And then there's the other stuff. There's the food component and what we're feeding ourselves, what we should not eat and what we should eat. And then what should we put on our bodies and what shouldn't we? So lots and lots of ways to learn, cut through the confusion, because there is a lot out there, right? Do I need a weighted vest? Do I need a vibration plate? Do I need to go spend, this amount of money to go do this expensive exercise thing? Well, you're going to learn all that when you come into the community. So I know that some of you are live here with me today. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And a lot of you view this as a recording. So know that that's an option. Click that link. And then who is here? Esta. I think we hang out a lot together. You were with me yesterday in the cooking class. You're with me this morning in the clean beauty. I'd love to know your thoughts on that, Esta. If you could put write something there, let me know what you thought of that. I'm trying to bring as much informative information to us women, affordable and really important topics around bone health, because the bone health world is blowing up with a lot of, don't know what the term is, but there's a lot of people out there trying to sell you very expensive ways to take care of your bones. And ladies, our mothers and grandmothers took care of their bones. And even if they did have a diagnosis of osteoporosis, especially the smaller petite ladies, because everyone or almost everyone's diagnosed with osteoporosis if they're tiny, because the machine we use tells us that. So love to hear what you thought, because we don't have to do crazy stuff. We need to learn how to eat. We need to sift through the information. Kendall, good morning. Nice to have you here, and so happy on where you are in your mindset around bone health these days, Kendall. Carolyn, hi. Although we live very close physically towards each other or to each other, we don't actually see each other, which is crazy. Like, I actually don't know if I've seen your face, Carolyn, in years, yet you're with me all the time in this class. So happy to have you. And Michelle, hi, how are you? I think that you've been with me before, right? I have a lot of Michelles. Wendy, hi, Wendy. Awesome. First class. That's right, because you joined my community, Stronger Bones Lifestyle. Would love to hear what your thoughts are, Wendy, on what you're learning so far, and really what if there's what else you want. We are creating a section in there for gut health, because healthy bones, healthy gut is such an important part of the work that I do. Can't have healthy bones without a healthy gut. So we're actually adding in some quick start guides and some identifiers to see if you potentially do have some gut issues. Some of you know you do, but some it will be better if you know. Beth, you did. Okay, good. Beth, did you learn something? I have to be honest, I haven't even cleaned my kitchen yet because my electricity went out this morning and I had a live webinar on clean beauty and daily routine habits, toothpaste, deodorant, just really raising our awareness to how much and how often we are being exposed to toxic exposure. Toxicity is a root cause of bone loss. One more area we need to get a handle on. So glad that you were there for the anti-inflammatory cooking class. Hopefully you learned some things. I always, like when I think about what I'm going to teach, I'm like, wow, has anyone ever heard of this? Probably not. Jamu, anti-inflammatory beverage. And yesterday when I made that anti-inflammatory beverage, I actually was drinking it and I burped. And I thought, that is doing something to my gut microbes. That is rebalancing or probably pissing off some of the bad ones that need to actually get the heck out of here. And that's how we rebalance our gut. We bring in things they don't like so that they either die or can't thrive anymore. Carolyn, yes. I know we did use each other when we were on a tennis team. Michelle, first class. Wow, love it. Well, Michelle and Wendy, are there any areas of your body in particular that you have issues with? Do you have replacement parts? Do you have anything in particular? Is there a part of your body you want to focus on more than the other? If you have a DEXA scan or a REM scan, was it your spine or your hips that you're more concerned about? So I love to tailor my classes or at least gear it towards a specific area if somebody has an issue. And then I have a fake hip right here. This is my left side. So I have a hip replacement, almost 8 years I've had this. So I really get it. I really get when we have to do modifications. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to go back there so we won't be able to talk anymore, and I really want to get started. Welcome to those of you that this is your first time. So happy to have you here. Gives me a little bit more to focus on, I would say. Okay. So whether you are a seasoned practitioner with yoga or you are brand new to the practice, yoga is the management of energy. It is actually the whole goal of yoga is freedom from suffering. So I'm a yoga therapist, which is a 1,000-hour training above and beyond yoga teacher training. And I've gone to India 3 times and studied with yoga therapy masters in India. I go to yoga therapy centers. So this is a really deep wisdom practice that I embrace wholeheartedly. I think yoga is the answer for every facet of health. Whether it's for the physical asana practice to keep our body and our bones and our muscles strong, to keep our balance strong, or the mental emotional parts. It's the lessons we learn, the wisdom that's in this practice, the breath work, the meditation. And really here in the West, we're actually embracing that. We might not call it yoga, but if you're being taught how to breathe, if the word meditation or mindfulness is coming up in anything you're doing, that's yoga. That's from India. That's ancient wisdom. And yoga is a science. It is not a religion. So yoga therapy is the answer to it all in my mind. And the beauty is that you do whatever you can, regardless of whether you practice for years, you have issues in your tissues, or you're brand new to the practice. Move your body and breathe. That's it. The most complicated thing you can do in yoga is to breathe, to focus on your breath when we start to manage what's up here. So join me in this practice today, which is going to focus foundationally on building our structure, our strength. Listen to my voice, yet I want you to listen even more to the voice inside, especially if you have an issue, injury, or issues that you have to modify accordingly. My hip replacement taught me a lot. My hip was collapsed. I was broken at age 50, barely moved, couldn't walk more than 20 feet. That was a life journey lesson. And weighed at one point 30 pounds more than I do now because of that. And my bone density got to negative 2.4 in my hip, 1 point away from osteoporosis at the age of 53. So I get it. Now I'm at 1.9. So I get what it takes to reverse bone loss, what it takes to build strength, flexibility, range of motion, and balance. And it is possible. And that's me, one person, but I've worked with thousands and have heard from thousands over the years. So I know that this is the best thing. Welcome if you're new or just practicing. Do your best, leave the rest. For the practice, you will need a blanket, a block, and a strap. And if you don't have these items, most of us have a blanket, or we could get a towel. If you don't have the other things, get 2 towels or 2 blankets, because you could fold this up to make a block if you didn't have a block. I do recommend that you purchase these items because hopefully you'll love yoga and realize how beneficial it is for healthy aging and for healthy bones. A block, a strap, you could use a towel in place of a strap, or you could use a robe strap or a belt. And I travel a lot, and I travel light. I usually travel with a carry-on, so I don't have the space to take my props. So when I'm in hotel rooms or at people's houses, I'll use pillows, blankets, towels, and belts, or whatever I have. We are going to use a ball today because I'd like to do a lot of footwork, and the ball is a great way to soften up the muscles and to actually hydrate the tissues, and then to bring in the open spaciousness for communication, for balance, to transmit. So get your ball, or if you don't have this, you could put a knot in a towel, like a tea towel or a hand towel, or get a washcloth and we'll ball it up. Just something to give you some pressure to push into. Better to get all your props now before you start the practice. So go ahead and gather those. I'd like to begin in a seated position to get to where we are, to just come to this moment. So fold your blanket in double, or if you have tightness in your body, you could fold your blanket even more. So really making the practice be what fits your body. So come into a seated position and then crisscross legs if that's comfortable. If the knees don't like to bend or if they're too tight in the beginning of the practice, you could come into the soles of the feet together. So do whatever is appropriate for you, and then bring yourself right here to this moment. So we need to connect the mind, the body, the soul. It's a practice of all parts of you, not just physically doing something exercise-wise. We're actually working mind and the body. So take your arms down alongside your body, and then inhale to let your hands find themselves above your head, and then bring your hands straight down towards your heart. Inhaling out and down. Now, if you have shoulder issues and you can't lift your arms above your head, inhale out, bring your hands together, and then bring your hands to your heart. Inhale up or out, exhale down towards your heart. Close your eyes if you can. Do a couple of rounds like this with the eyes closed. Go slow, match the breath with the movement, slow down the breath. And with the eyes closed, noticing the movement in your body, notice where there may be some tightness, whether that's in the hips from the seated position or the upper arms. Hands come together and bring your hands down towards your heart. Couple more like this. With the eyes closed, noticing where you are, sensing whatever you sense around you with the eyes closed. Last one. Bring your hands to your heart. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your mouth closed. Breathe in through your nose. And just notice the sensations of breath as the breath comes in the nostrils. See if you can feel the coolness of the temperature in the room. And then take one more breath. Bring your hands onto your thighs. Bring your awareness to your eyes as you gently blink them open. So we'll come down onto the ground. We'll do a little bit to start to open up the upper body, allow the freedom to come into the upper body. So taking your blanket or towel, whatever it is you have, open it up so that it's pretty long, and the length of the blanket would actually support your head and your spine. So you want it to be long, and take the blanket and roll the blanket up as tight as you can. The bigger, heavier weighted blankets are going to give you a deeper chest opening. So chest expansion is what we're working on. And if you're able to have a blanket that's a little bit thicker, that would be better, or even rolling two together. So if you have two thin blankets together, it could be a good idea as well. And then bring yourself to the ground. Just move side to side so you feel the buttock bones, the pelvic bones. So when we are thinking about our hips, when it comes to keeping them strong, if we get a diagnosis on a DEXA scan at the hip, it's looking at the top of the femur bone, the neck of the femur bone, or the total area here. And that's what we want to protect. Yet we have all of this other aspects. We have this pelvis that we're moving back and forth on that also can get fractured if you slip, trip, stumble, or fall. So we want to be aware of these parts of our body, and then we're going to strengthen muscles or create more range of motion, more flexibility. So if you do slip, trip, stumble, or fall and pull on these bones, we don't fracture them. So fracture prevention is the real key here. You're moving back and forth. You have the blanket behind your spine. Then I want you to come down. You can walk your feet down. Really keep this space in the front of your body lengthened. So from the heart to the low belly, lengthened and not contracted. Keep your heart up, your head up. You could use your hands to help lower you down, or use the core. Bringing yourself all the way down. The tushy is on the ground. The knees are bent. The feet are flat, and you let your knees fall in towards each other. So your pelvis is on the floor. You have your spine on the blanket. And then for some of you, you may need to bend the blanket or fold it over to support your head, especially if you do have roundness in your upper spine. Posture is critical to bone health. So really becoming aware of what is the state of your spine? What do you have going on in the upper spine? And really working to create more space there. So we'll do a moving meditation, matching the breath with the movement, going really nice and slow here. Take your arms alongside your body. So let your arms not touch the floor, they're floating. And then as you exhale, you bring your elbows down towards your waist. And as we inhale, we let the arms go towards the back wall first, and then in towards each other. And that's your entire inhalation. Your entire exhalation is letting the elbows come down towards your body. Now try not to have your hands too close to the ceiling. Try not to have the hands closer to your torso than your elbows. So push the hands away, create a little bit of a heavier lever. Lift your head, lengthen your back neck. And let's do this slow, gentle moving meditation to warm up the upper body posture muscles, the pectorals, the deltoids, and also to free up congestion in the shoulder joint, to create freedom in the spine, to take sitting out of your body from yesterday. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly bring the elbows down towards your waist. The entire exhalation takes the elbows down towards your waist. Inhale, slowly let your hands start to move towards the back wall. The arms start to rise up in the shoulder joint. And then if you're able to touch the fingertips above your head, touching the fingertips above your head, that's your inhale. Exhale slowly as you bring your elbows down to your waist. Let your elbows reach the waist at the end of the exhale. Inhale slowly to let the arms rise above, fingertips touch. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through your nose. Exhale down. Inhale up. The farther your arms or your hands move away from your body, the more weight you create, the deeper the stretch in the shoulders and the chest. If you are able to do that, try that. And then if you have shoulder issues, that might not be the best movement pattern for you. So do what's right for you. We inhale up and we exhale down. Last couple, exhaling down, inhaling up. Then bring your arms down alongside your body, palms face each other, thumbs are up towards the sky. So what we're doing here with our body on the blanket, moving our shoulders, we're freeing up the upper part of our body when it comes to posture and alignment. So for fall and fracture prevention, we want to make sure the communication in our body is free and clear, and we want to make sure there's no obstruction with the communication neuromuscularly. So our nerves are free to travel through the connective tissue, the muscles, the body, and the bones. So freeing up that pathway from feet all the way up to brain. Take an exhale. As you inhale, bring both hands up towards the wall behind you. If you're able to let your thumbs touch the floor, let the thumbs touch the floor. Exhale to bring your hands down. And if you can't touch the floor, just go as high as you can. Close your eyes and notice what happens in the belly. Notice what happens in the spine, the shoulders, the chest, the whole movement. What does it feel like in your body? And pay attention to that. You exhale when your hands come down and back towards your body. You inhale when you lengthen and your arms move away. And then one more. Now take your arms out to the side, either straight out to the side or bend your elbows slightly. Try to let the hands rest on the ground. So you may need to push the hands farther away from your body in order to get them to rest. Coming into a static hold position, hopefully feeling some kind of stretch where the arms attach to your body, the shoulder joint, the chest, the shoulders. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through your nose. Take 5 long, slow, deep breaths here. When you finish your 5th breath, give it back to your body to breathe itself. Then coming into a fully Outstretched position if this feels appropriate for you, taking your legs long, your arms overhead, reaching through the toes, reaching through the fingertips. When we point our feet, we point our fingers, we're stretching the front of our body. You may actually feel this in your belly area, the space between the hip bones and the lower ribs. This could get tight from sitting. And then flex your feet, flex your hands. Reach through the heels of the hands and the heels of the feet. This goes into the back of the body. You may feel this coming into the ankles, the feet, and the calves. And then when you reach through the heel of your hands, you'll feel this on the inner arm. Taking some deep breaths here. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Coming onto your side off of the blanket. Take a couple of breaths here, let your spine settle. So we are being pressed down on all day long from above with gravity, and gravitational force helps to keep our bones strong. When astronauts go into space, they lose bone density. There's a lot of research that's done on diagnosing, treating, and managing osteoporosis or bone loss in the aerospace world, or in the world where astronauts are going up into space and losing bone density. So now you have gravity pushing down on you from the side. It's a different perspective on the spine. And then when we do the postures on our back, we have gravity pushing down. So it's a way also to find some alignment in our spine or to realign. Here, I want you to work on keeping the upper body strong. So not pulling up with your head, but instead really using the elbow and the hand here to actively push yourself up a little bit slower, a little bit more muscular action with the upper body muscles, which we need to maintain as we age. So all day, every day, throughout our movement patterns, raising our awareness to that is actually another way to focus on keeping our muscles and bones strong for healthy aging. Take your blanket now. Now the blanket is good to support the knees. For those of you with knee issues, you may have one blanket, you may need two. Do what's appropriate for you. Coming on to all fours starts to align our joints in our body, the shoulders and the hips here. Take your hands really wide and press into your fingertips, press into your hands. So disperse the weight here, not just in the heel of the hands. And that's what I see often too, is the movement loss in our palms and in our feet, which is so important. There's a lot of brain wiring with the nerves linked to the fingers and the hands. And grip strength is linked to fracture risk. And we want to make sure we have limber wrists. So push yourself side to side here when you're on all fours, moving through the shoulders, moving through the wrists, keeping that flexibility, range of motion in there. So if you do slip, trip, stumble, or fall, less likely to get a stress fracture. And then move yourself forward and backwards, keeping your head active, keep your head lifted. You're going to start to notice a little burning in the upper back and neck, and you're actually strengthening postural muscles. So keep your head lifted. The higher you lift your head, the more work you're doing in your posture muscles. When you come forward, you're loading into your wrist, keeping those forearm bones strong, wrist bones strong, fingers strong. Back and forth. And then bring yourself all the way up. Take your hands like this. Bend the top. There's 3 joints on each finger. You see the very top line, and then you see a middle line. So bring your fingers down to where that middle line is and wrap the other fingers around it. Bring your hand up and wrap. Keeping that mobility in your hands. Something that I notice I see at least 100 plus people a week in my live yoga classes. And I notice that we don't pay attention. So if you go into a dark room, you don't know what's in the room until you turn the lights on. So raising awareness to where are you not focusing on moving your body. Go a little farther down now, coming to the joint that attaches the fingers to the palm of the hand. And then bring your hands out and roll your wrists around. Keep your forearms straight. So we're not doing this. That's a shoulder joint movement. This here is wrist. And go in the other direction. So the communication for balance starts in the brain, going all the way down to the feet. So let's move our spine and create some freedom and space in the spine here. We'll do what's called spinal balance, and it's a great way for you to monitor your balance. Take the right leg back and the left hand forward. Keep your gaze forward of your mat. Don't let your head hang. Don't look down. Keep your neck active so you're strengthening your postural muscles. Point the right toes and the left fingertips. Press the right hand into the ground, exhale, and then inhale to lift the left hand, lift the right leg. You could follow the gaze up with the left hand looking a little farther, bringing a little bit of a back bend into your upper spine, and then exhale to tap down. Inhale to lift, exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down, and then one more. We're going to come up and hold. Inhale to lift, stay here. Now press your right hand into the ground. Press the fingertips of the right hand into the ground to disperse the weight. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, can you lift your left foot off the floor? Push the right inner thigh towards the left inner thigh. Push your belly button up towards your spine. A lot of core work here, upper back work here. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down and feel that tension that happens in the right hand here, that right wrist. Now you're going to get a break. Spread the left hand, press the left fingers in. Right hand forward, left leg back. Exhale. As you inhale, lift your right hand and your left leg and look up if you'd like to add extra work for the upper back and neck. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale, and on this next one, we're going to come up and hold. Come up and hold, looking forward or straight in front of your mat. Push the left fingertips into the floor. If you want a little challenge here, you lift the right foot off the floor so the top of the toes are not helping. You're balancing closer to the knee area. Push your belly button up towards your spine. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself down, come all the way out. Sit in a bent knee position if your knees will bend, or in a crisscross position, or you could come up here into a kneeling if your knees don't like to bend. Close your eyes. Heart rate accelerates when we use our muscles. So that's a great way for you to notice the work that you're doing in the practice. And even the postures that don't look super intense are working muscles. And one of the main benefits of yoga therapy to me is the joint health that's created in the practice. Keep your eyes closed. If your heart rate's accelerated a lot, breathe down to your belly to regulate your breath. Take one more breath. And then open your eyes. So doing a plank, we're going to do a forearm plank on our forearm. Doing plank strengthens the anterior or the whole front body. It's a core. It strengthens our core, but it's really great for strengthening everything, strengthening the shoulders, the upper back muscles, and it's really great for the front of the hip. And I know when I had my hip replacement, I couldn't lift my right leg off the floor and balance on the front of the left leg, and that's where my hip replacement was. So I know that frontal hip strength, which is really important, that the plank posture is a great way to strengthen our hips. And it's also going to strengthen the core, the upper body. So it's just a really great total body movement. Now take your block, and you want your elbows to be in like this. Make sure your elbows don't go wide when you're down because you lose the structure and the stabilization of the upper body in this. Bring your knees back towards your edge of your mat, and then bring your block forward, probably off the mat for most. And then you bring yourself down so you're on your forearms. And this is the modification. So you flatten your low back up towards the sky by tilting your pelvis back, pulling your pubic bone up towards your ribs. You want to make sure your pelvis is forward Don't have your pelvis hanging out above your knees. The pelvis has to be forward so that your body really works hard to maintain hovering your body in space. If you want to flip the toes under, push through your heels, push your hands into the floor, push your forearms into the floor. Head is lifted, or head is in alignment with your torso. Don't let it hang. Bring your awareness to your feet. Make sure that all 5 toes on both feet are bending, that you have pressure going into the pinky toe edge, not just the big toe edge. And then press the elbows in, press the forearms, press the hands. Bring your awareness to the base of your torso, your pubic bone. Take an inhale. As you exhale, pull the pubic bone up towards the lower ribs, activating the deep core muscles, and then inhale to release. Exhale again. Inhale. Couple more breaths like this. One more breath. And then lowering your pelvis onto the mat. Take your block off to the side and come up into what's called Sphinx to rest. We're going to rest in Sphinx. Take your elbows underneath your shoulders, spread your hands. Take your legs wide and squeeze your tushy. That'll help to minimize the discomfort that can come into the low back. Close your eyes. Notice your heart rate here. Take some breaths here. Breathe down to your belly. Take one more breath like this. And then we're going to come down, and this is a way to release the lumbar spine area. So take your elbows out to the sides, and then you cradle your head. So take your hands on your jaw. Your elbows are forward, and hold your head with your hands. Try to let them get close to touching. You can make a peace sign for your ears. So the pointer finger's in back, the ring finger and middle finger and pinky are in front. Feel the palm of the hand holding and supporting your jawbone. And make sure your hands are really holding the weight of your head. And then breathe down to your belly. Take one more breath. And then take your arms, fold one hand on top of the other. Take your feet, walk your feet back so your big toes touch. Lift your head up. Push your elbows wide and into the ground. And then let your forehead rest on the back of the hands. Take an exhale. As you inhale, feel like you're pushing a marble away with your nose so that your spine and your neck starts to bend into a back bend. Push your hands into the floor and lift your torso away from the floor as high as it will go, bringing a bend into the thoracic spine, the part of your spine attached to your rib cage. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to lower. Inhale. And with the eyes closed, I want you to feel the back muscles contracting. The muscles that are attached to your pelvis and then to the skull, they go up the spine. They get shorter to lift your head up. It's like doing a bicep curl where you're bending your elbow and bringing your hand closer to your shoulder. The muscles in the front of the arm, the biceps, shorten in order for this to happen. Well, now you have these muscles along your spine, the erector muscle group, really critical for posture, for alignment, for fall prevention, for bone health, for a healthy spine. One more. See if you can feel them at work with your inhale to rise. And then bring yourself down, forehead on your hands, catching your breath. And then let your forehead touch the floor. Let your hands come down alongside your body. So we're going to do a back bend. It's called locust. We're going to strengthen the muscles of the back of the body. So when we come up, we want our back body to be facing up towards the sky and bring as much of a bend into your spine as you can. So let the forehead touch the floor. And then you exhale. As you inhale, start to push your nose as if you were pushing a marble away. Then your head comes off the floor. Start to peel your heart area off the floor. And then lift your arms up. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Push the hands close to your body. Now, legs are long and lift your legs up. Roll the inner thighs up towards the sky so the whole back of your leg faces up and your soles of your feet are facing up towards the sky, not in towards each other. Reach long with your arms, long with your feet, and then lengthen your torso so the crown of your head is reaching forward. Squeeze your tushy and push your pubic bone, which is the front of the base of your body. Push the pubic bone into the floor. That'll help to protect the low back. And we are working the low back. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your spine. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other and then push the shoulder blades forward to push your heart forward, to bend your upper spine. Bend your neck spine. Bend your thoracic spine. Hands are reaching, feet are reaching, head is reaching. Deep breaths here. Feel the strength in the back of your body. Strong back body, strong spine. This is what keeps you up, what maintains your posture for life. And posture plays a critical role in fall prevention. Roll the inner thighs up, soles of the feet up, lift the legs long. Reach long with your fingertips, up with your arms, heart towards the ground, bend your upper spine. Take one more breath. Take your hands, fold your hands, elbows are wide. Take your feet wide as your mat, and then turn your feet so that you come on to rest onto the big toe edges of your feet. This is called crocodile. Lengthen your neck, put your forehead on the back of your hands. Now breathe to your belly to help release tension in the low back. Breathe to your belly. Breathe to your belly. You'll feel the low back tension release. You're stretching your whole lower body. Take one more breath. So we're going to come onto our side. Take your arm long and roll onto your side. Cradle your head in your arm. Come to rest on the side. Then from here, you're going to push yourself up. So take the elbow in the hand. Don't let the head lead the way. Really pushing strongly into the ground to bring yourself up to seated. And then check in with how's your heart rate. Try to keep your mouth closed when you practice yoga to keep the heat. We do that to keep the heat inside. We're creating this internal heat. And internal heat will actually help to keep your gut in a healthy state as well. You know, when we get sick, our body gets warm with fever to help kill what needs to be killed if you have a virus. And the internal body, when you get your internal body at the right temperature, if you get on the warmer side, that's actually what maintains a healthier gut. When we're cold inside, we allow things to grow that we don't want, it's not good for our gut health, which in turn is not good for bone health. So doing 11 push-ups a day is what we're actually supposed to be able to do for those of us, and I believe the age is menopausal females, or let's say over age 50. So an 11-day push-ups, 11 push-ups a day. There's a challenge that was put out there by 2 of the main female doctors in the menopausal space. So let's shoot for doing 11 push-ups right now. Now, if that, wherever you are in your journey of strength and injuries or issues in your tissues, whatever it is, like to offer some options. So one thing is you could come to a wall and you could do wall push-ups. Or if you have a chair, you could be on a chair and you could do chair push-ups. Not having your body flat. So the closer to standing your body is when you challenge yourself leaning into it, you could do that. It could be at the side of the sofa, the counter in the kitchen is good, or a wall. So right now, get up and do that if you need to do that. If you are going to do this on the ground, a full push-up is pretty challenging. I am working my way up to being able to do 11 of those. The other way is to do it with your knees on the ground. And this is definitely more manageable. And then challenge yourself and see how strong you can get. See if you can get to doing 1 full push-up or 11 of them, or maybe you never will, but do those knee push-ups or whatever else. So whatever you're going to do right now, let's do 11 push-ups. And making sure that you don't collapse in your chest by keeping your head lifted. If you're going to do the knee push-ups, you can bring your feet off the floor. Hands are wide. When you go down, let your elbows move out. Keep your head active and lifted. And when you come down, really push away from the floor. Feel that power in your body as you push away from the floor. When you finish, bring yourself up, come into a rest position, close your eyes, catch your breath. So pectorals, the chest muscles, are the power muscles of the upper body, which support posture. Deep breaths down to your belly. Definite acceleration of the heart when we do some of the bigger mover muscles, the bigger muscles that we're familiar with. Deep breaths down to your belly. And then go ahead and blink your eyes open. So bring that challenge into your life every day, 11 push-ups, and then notice how you start to develop strength along the way. So we're gonna come down onto the ground. You're gonna need your block and your strap for this. So have your block handy, have your strap handy. If you have a loop and you have the ability to do a loop, put a loop into your strap. If not, you can tie the strap around your legs. And if you don't have a strap, that's okay. You can use the block or nothing. Take your blanket at the top of your mat. When you bring yourself down, you want to maintain the safe spinal space, which is the space between your heart and your belly button. This is where almost all the fractures occur in the spine from if you have osteoporosis. And so as you come down, maintain that space. You could use your core here. You could tilt your pelvis back. At some point near the bottom, if you need to flop. Bring yourself down. Get your strap and put your strap on your legs. So put it through your feet all the way to the top of your legs. So we're gonna do bridge pose, which is pushing away from the floor, which is keeping the back of the body strong. So putting the strap on is a really great way to get some tension, to get this to be a little bit more effective, getting a little higher lift. If you don't have the strap, that's okay. Take the blanket away from the back of your head. Bend your arms, the upper arm bone is on the ground, and push your arms in so you can lift your rib cage up, slide your shoulder blades in, lift your head, lengthen the back of your neck. So feel the pressure in the center of your head, not up towards the top of the head. Walk your feet back, push out on the strap. Let's tilt the pelvis back to flatten the low back. Push your feet into the floor, squeeze your tushy, push out on the strap, and lift your body or push away from the ground to feel this, to start to bend the spine, and then inhale to put your body down. So warming up the spine before we come into the holding position of the bridge. Push your feet in, push out on the strap, squeeze the buttocks, push the pelvis up towards the sky, push your arms into the ground, and bring that back bend into the upper spine. Inhale down. On the next one, we're going to come up and we're going to hold in our bridge pose. Push your feet into the floor, push out on the strap, squeeze the buttocks, exhale. Lift yourself up by pushing away from the floor with the muscles. Once you get here, refine this. Really dig the arms in a lot so that you could push the rib cage away from the floor as much as possible. Bring your awareness to your feet, push them into the floor, push out on the strap, unbend the hip joint, pushing the pelvis up, and then you really use your arms to bend your spine as much as you can. When we do yoga therapy for bone health bridge posture, you want to get a back bend in the upper spine. And we want to strengthen all those back muscles for posture, for fall prevention. Push your feet in, push out in the strap, squeeze the tushy, push the arms into the ground, push the shoulder blades forward to bend your spine as much as you can. Bring your awareness to the upper spine, close your eyes, and stretch the upper spine. Stretch the front of the upper spine. Push out in the strap, push your feet into the floor, squeeze your buttocks. Really push your arms into the ground a lot to bend your spine as much as you can. Take one more breath. When you come down, I want you to start to push the upper spine down. Lift the heels off the floor and push the rib cage to the floor before the pelvis. So you're tilting your pelvis back, lengthening your body, stretching the muscles that rotate your trunk, the core muscles, the back muscles. Feel that stretch as you push the lower ribs towards the ground, pulling the pelvis away. You'll feel a nice stretch in your back when you do this. And then finally allowing your pelvis to come down. Bring the blanket back behind your head when your pelvis is down and take the strap off. Draw your knees into your chest, keep your knees wide, and then hold on underneath your hamstrings so that the soles of the feet go up towards the sky. Legs are wide here. This is a happy baby. It stretches the low back. We just did 2 back bends in a row, the locust and the bridge. So massage through those muscles. When we do the back bend, we are using the low back muscles, so that's where you're going to feel that. And if you have back issues, that might make you a little cautious or nervous. So paying attention to doing the appropriate practice for yourself. And then put your feet on the floor. So let's do a little bit with stabilizing and core work, because when we talk about creating that structure in our body, having our stabilizers work is really important for fall prevention, fracture prevention, and for bone health. Take the block between your knees, and you want your feet to be block distance. You want your toes to be facing forward. So don't let your feet go wider than your block. Try to get that nice alignment here. Then lift your feet off the floor so you're in a neutral position. Go ahead and put your feet back down. You can keep the blanket underneath your head. We are going to lift up into a hovering bridge, but you're going to keep your rib cage, or at least the heart and above, on the floor. So that should be okay. But you don't want to have too much blanket behind you. Push your arms into the floor, lift your rib cage up, and slide your shoulder blades towards each other. Hands are alongside your body. Tilt your pelvis back so you flatten your low back into the floor. And then from here, you're going to lift your body off the ground. So tilt your pelvis back, lift your pelvis up so you're in a hovering bridge.
You're not too high off the floor. You're not starting to bring the back bend into your upper spine. Squeeze the block, and then let's do a walking bridge. One leg at a time moves out. Squeeze the block and lift a foot out at a time. It's going to work those stabilizing muscles, the pelvic stabilization, helping to get that function in the hips. We want to make sure that we stay functional for health of our skeleton, but also for fall and fracture prevention, arthritis, wear and tear in the joints. Start to reach through the heel when you bring your foot up, squeezing that block. And then one more each side. Bring yourself down onto the ground. Take the block out. And then a lot of low back work here. So let's do a supported bridge pose to give ourselves a little break. Very little blanket behind your head or no blanket at all as you walk your feet back and bring the block underneath your pelvis. If you tilt your pelvis back, you get the top edge of your pelvis to touch the block. Then bring yourself into this supportive position. Lift your head, lengthen the back neck. Make sure there's no extra pressure in your head and neck here. Then slide your shoulder blades towards each other to keep the integrity in your chest and in your upper torso. Close your eyes. Breathe down to your belly. So in this supported bridge, lots and lots of things are happening. On one hand, physically, we're stretching the low back, the muscles from the top of the pelvis to the lower ribs. We're strengthening the core because the top of the core is your diaphragm. And as you breathe in and breathe down to your belly, you're pushing up against gravity, pushing into that muscle, so there's resistance for the diaphragm. And then because your pelvis is higher than your heart, you're using gravity to bring the blood to the heart. So it helps to balance blood pressure. The people that should not do the supported bridge pose with a prop is anyone with unmanaged high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure and you're on a medication and you're managed, it's okay. It's those that are not managed with their blood pressure. Deep breaths here, pushing against gravity towards your belly. Let your belly rise and fall. Take one more breath. Walk your feet closer to the block. Lift your heels off the floor. Push your feet into the floor. Lift your pelvis up. Take the block out to the side. Blanket back behind your head and knees into your chest. Knees are wide, moving towards the armpits, and pull them close to your chest. Stretching the low back. And then come onto your side. Pushing yourself up. Sort of come up to a standing position. Take your props off to the side. So one of the things about fall prevention is making sure that your space doesn't have anything you'll trip on. So pushing that off to the side. Let's take the blanket onto your mat. Bring yourself onto your mat. And then take your knees really wide and bend your toes. So your feet are at the edge of your mat. And your hands are don't have them all the way forward. Have them in front of your body and spread your fingers and have them as wide as the mat. And then push yourself back, bring your pelvis into the air. Your gaze is forward and start to pedal your feet one at a time, pressing the outside edge of the pinky toe edge into the floor. And then bend your knees, walk your feet back, and let the entire soles touch the floor. The gaze is forward, your knees are bent and your hips are bent. And then bring your forearms onto your knees. So you're in a deep squat. The squat position is how we keep our lower body nice and strong. So you could stay here if you need to have the support of your hands on your thighs, or if you're able to bring your hands forward and lift your toes off the floor so you're in your heels. Make sure that your feet are as wide as your mat when you do this, and look forward. It's going to keep the lower body nice and strong. Take one more breath, and then go slow as you start to bring yourself up, allowing the blood pressure to calibrate as you rise. So we need to clear up our mat. We want to bend safely in our hip. Push the pelvis back as you bend down to get your blanket, to move that off to the side. And go ahead and get your tennis ball, if you have a tennis ball, or a knot in a towel, or rolled up something to give you a little feedback, and put that on the ground. Make sure you know where it is so that you don't trip on it. And then in a standing position, if balance is an issue, you can have a chair to work with, or you can have a wall if you need that. We're gonna start to bend the toes and get the feet and the ankles limber. So bend your toes so that your toenails flatten, pushing the foot away from you. Push the foot away. You want to keep your foot in front of you, and you're pushing your knee forward and your foot to feel that stretch coming in. Your toenails turn under and they're on the mat. Now we're going to bend the toes the other way. So you're going to lift your heel up. Try to get it to come up and down if you can, bending all 5 toes. Make sure you're not just on the first and second toe. Knees are moving forward. So pay attention to the way your body moves when you do this. Don't let your knees go out to the side. Don't just come on or come inward. Really making sure that as you do this, you focus on as much proper function in your joints as possible. Now see if you could do both at the same time. Strength. Now we've got ankles getting stronger, feet getting stronger, and actually the calves. And this helps to support heart health. So up and down, and then come all the way up and walk around on the balls of your feet. So strong feet for balance and fall prevention. Make sure you know where your ball is. You could even do a little side on your balls of your feet. And then bring yourself down. Toes are forward, rolling to the pinky toe edges, stretching the ankles. So keeping your ankles limber is really important for fracture prevention of the ankles. So rolling towards the sides here, feel that stretch coming over the ankle joint. And then go ahead and bring yourself out of that. So let's take the toes together, the hands are down alongside the body. This is what we call mountain Tadasana. Pick up your toes, spread your toes, push your toes into the ground. Take your hands down alongside your body. Push your heels into the floor, push your thighs back. Squeeze your tushy, pull your tailbone down. Reach down with the hands and back with the hands, long with the spine. So pull your rib cage away from your pelvis. Feel yourself being as tall as you can be in your body. And thumbs are moving backwards to stretch that shoulder joint. Push your feet down, your hands down, and then lift up with your torso, lift up with your spine, lift up with your head. Chin parallel towards the ground and push your head back. This is called Tadasana Mountain. This is a posture of alignment. Finding that nice alignment in your spine. Close your eyes if that's appropriate for you. Then you're going to open your eyes, and we're going to move into tree. Push your body weight over to the side, bend your opposite toe, Bring your foot up in between your ankle and your knee. Push your foot into the floor, your knee out to the side. Noticing here how much movement there is in your ankle, how much movement there is in your foot, how much grasping there is of the toes to the ground, what's happening to your pelvis, to your rib cage. Are you able to stay in it? How wobbly is your body? Just feel that. Woo! Feel what's happening. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Let's go to the other side. Feet make contact with the ground. Push yourself to the other side. Bend the toes, knee to the side, and come up on this side into the tree pose. Bring your awareness to your foot, the toes, the ankle, the sole of the foot. Feel and notice what's happening there. Notice how much movement is in your body. And if you come out, come back in. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Let's take the ball. Bring the ball into the arch of the left foot and stand on the ball with as much pressure as you can handle without allowing the toes or the heel to touch. So ball is in the center of the foot. If you need a wall, hold on to the wall. If you need a chair, hold on to the chair. And then take the left foot and bring the left foot forward of your right foot. Bend the knee. So come onto the tippy toes. Feel as much pressure as you can. Pretty intense. Take one more breath. And then come off. Now bend your foot, go to the arch of your foot and roll around. Keep the knees bent so you're really pushing as much weight as you can. And then bring the ball to the ball of the foot. So when you look down, you don't see the ball. You don't see it over your toes. Put your heel into the floor. Bring your left leg forward. And then see if you can balance here on the ball. Toes are grasping the ball. Noticing if that's a challenge, just come to the heel. Now, I noticed I may have said to put it on the left foot, and I noticed for me I did the right. So if you're doing the opposite foot, you just follow along that you do the opposite foot. Push the heel into the ball, bring the opposite foot forward, and bring your leg up. This is a Karate Kid balance. And you'll notice here that it's easier for you to balance when you have your toes to help you. We need our feet, we need our toes for balance. So noticing here, if this is a little easier than it was to try to balance when the toes were on, when the ball of the foot was on the ball. And then bring yourself out. Let's go to the other side, whatever side you're on. Put the arch into the ball and then try to balance if you can. Try to bring the other foot forward. Come onto the toes of the other foot, putting as much pressure in the center of the ball as you can. Take one more breath here. So you want to have as much pressure in there. We're really trying to disrupt, to stretch, come into the arch, bend your knees so that you can get the arch of the foot, then rolling that ball in there. Then you bring the ball to the top of your foot, the ball of your foot. When you look down, you shouldn't see the ball. Grab the top of the ball with your toes. Then feel the heel touching the floor. Bring the opposite leg forward and see if you can balance here without using your toes. More challenging than when we have the toes to help us. And then bring yourself out. Now take the ball in the arch and place the ball in the arch. Spread your toes, put your foot on the ground. Bring the opposite leg forward and try to balance here. So different parts of our feet are going to make it easier for us to balance, and making sure that the whole foot is open, is communicative. Take one more breath and then bring yourself out. Kick your ball off to the side so that you can see it and you know it's not coming back for fall prevention. Let's try the tree pose now that we've woken up the feet. The toes are lifted. Feel your balls of your feet, the whole foot and the heel in the ground. Hands down alongside your body. Push yourself to one side, bend the knee, and bring yourself into tree pose.
And bring your awareness down to your foot. Notice what you notice there. Do you feel the whole foot touching? Do you feel the toes? Where do you feel the movement mostly? So what I notice when I teach is that the toes keep coming off the floor, especially if we haven't woken up the feet. The toes keep lifting. And what I'm hoping you're noticing now is how heavy and grounded your feet feel right now. They feel more grounded because we woke up more of the receptors in the base of the foot. Take one more breath. And let's try that on the other side. Coming from mountain to the other side, you bend the opposite knee and you come into your tree pose on this side. And see if you could feel that grounded feeling that comes into the feet when we stretch them, when we wake them up. And so for fall prevention and for balance, especially if balance is an issue, before you do anything, if you're walking or hiking or playing a sport, warm up your feet. Pay attention to your feet. Keep a tennis ball in your house somewhere where you could stand on that and keep your feet awake and alive. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out and down. Shake your feet. So pay attention to your feet for bone health. So important. So we're going to come down and we're going to allow all this to sink into our tissues. The posture called Shavasana is actually a posture of integration to allow everything that was done in the practice today to seep into our body. So get your blanket, bring your blanket onto the mat, and then go ahead and get whatever else you need to come down onto the floor for Shavasana. If you need to do anything last minute, like bringing your knees into your chest or letting your legs go up into the air and shake, and then bring yourself into Shavasana, final rest. Allow everything to find a new memory, a new place, space, strength, flexibility, range of motion.
Gently begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Roll your ankles, your wrists. And then bend your knees and draw your knees into your chest. Keep them wide, press them towards your belly, rock side to side. Bring yourself onto your side. And from here, pushing yourself up to a seated position. So try to keep your eyes closed. Bring yourself into a seated position, hands to the heart, press the hands to the heart. Sit nice and tall in your spine. Take an exhale. Inhale deeply, and then humming on the exhale. Hands to forehead, bowing forward in gratitude. Namaste. So what you learn here on the mat, you take off the mat into your life, focusing on doing all you can every day to keep your body strong, your bones strong, your balance strong for healthy, happy aging and an amazing quality of life. All right, so how are we doing? Who is still here with me? Well, that's interesting, Michelle. I didn't even see that you requested spinal work, and boy, did we start our class off with the spine. Really interesting. You're welcome, Kendall. Yep, always something new. Got to keep it interesting so we don't get bored. Off to hike. Oh, I love it. Have fun hiking. Esta. Oh, good. Yeah, it's cleaning everything. I wouldn't even think about water in my cleaning in my products that I was using. I have an amazing water filter. It's like one of the first things I do is spend money on a water filter because I know that that's one of the main ways we're exposed to toxins. So I will spend money on good water. I will take water with me if I go on vacation. If I'm driving somewhere, I take filtered water with me. I'm a little crazy. I didn't think to look at my products I put on my skin every day that my body absorbs. That's important. Beth, wonderful. Yeah, the footwork. Terry, you did 11 push-ups. What? All right, 11 push-ups a day, ladies. Let's do it. I am working towards, I've been so sore this week. I started doing those 11 dang push-ups 4 days ago. Oh my God, I went into my infrared sauna last night because my body was aching. My chest muscles were aching. So I'm on a mission to do 11 full push-ups. And I know I'll be able to do that. That might not be your goal. That is mine. And I know it's possible. So I'm working towards that.
I'd love to hear from the new ladies, Wendy and Michelle, if you're still here. Let me see. So proud of you, Terry. If you're not in my community, join me in there. There's the link right there. Would love to have as many women as possible. That's my goal, to grow. Thousands and thousands of women helping, sharing, learning, taking care of ourselves and our bones. So if you like this, give me a thumbs up. Share this with someone that may be interested. Let's get the word out there. Let's help our fellow sisters, friends, neighbors, daughters be as strong as they could be. Great. All right, Michelle, really great to have you here. I'm glad you did that. So, Michelle, did you say you were in my community? I don't remember. Wendy, I know you are. I've seen you in there. But I cannot remember if you said you were. Yeah. So I'll be here next week. All right. Same time, same place. All right. See you later.